Hi, welcome to another episode of Spyt-Takes. I'm your host, Jens Anderson, aka Spytle.
And I'm Penny.
No, you're not Penny, that's Penny. And I'm Bunsen!
And I'm Ellen Anderson.
We are here to talk to you tonight about the latest episode of Flash called Fallout, which is appropriately named because we had some awesome Firestorm stuff going on in this episode. So a lot of things going on. One thing I like about Flash, just like I like about Gotham, is they have such a rich amount of characters and supporting cast that they do a lot of A, B, and C storylines while the main thing is going on. So we do have a lot of stuff to talk about tonight. Let's see where we want to kind of begin. One thing, let's just talk about. Geez, Bunce.
He wants to tell you where to begin.
I know exactly. Basically, what happens is at the beginning of this episode, we kind of pick off right where we left off last time. The Flash and Caitlin Snow are outrunning this blast from Firestorm splitting up. But they do a scan really quick. There's no radiation. So apparently the quantum splicer worked. Contained the blast, at least radiation-wise, right? So there definitely was a lot of energy released, but not radioactive energy. They run back. And they find Ronnie and Dr. Stein. They've been separated. It worked. And they both just really want to... Caitlin, of course, and Ronnie are very happy to see each other, which is very nice. They go back to Star Labs. And Professor Stein is sort of the one who's left in the gang members, like leather biker jeans and the ratty jacket and everything like that. So he is definitely looking for a change of clothes. And the two don't seem very happy with each other, Ronnie and Professor Stein.
No, it's kind of like if you were stuck in a very small, confined area with somebody for a long time, and you weren't really yourself, you'd be pretty pissed off.
And someone that, like, you didn't, that was, like,
complete
kind
opposite.
of opposite of you,
Yes.
you know what I mean? Like, someone you didn't really, wouldn't normally get along with. Yeah, that would probably drive someone crazy.
You know, you've got the one Amell brother who's perfectly manscaped, who's pizza.
Why do you have to go there already?
He's a pizza eating dude. But
that
smart.
dude doesn't eat. Well, I guess he could eat pizza, but
he does not eat pizza in real life.
He
I will
probably
He's
works out
flatbread and
sushi and soybean extract, some other kind of crap, whatever.
Kale sandwiches.
Anyway. So we're dealing with they split after the explosion. They don't like each other very much, but they're still connected. They go home. Ronnie wants pizza. Stein goes home. All of a sudden, Stein's craving pizza, right? And we learn even later that they are completely connected, like on a brainwave level. They can sense what's going on with the other one.
They can sense each other's pain, fear.
Yep.
Obviously, hunger.
Yep. Or cravings.
Cravings.
Right, for sure.
Pretty interesting.
Yeah. So they're definitely still connected, and they realize this. And so they do some more studies and things like that. Eventually, let's jump over to another story here. Normally, I like to go through one all the way, but this one really does tie together a lot of stuff. So that's what's going on with the Firestorm stuff. And meanwhile, the Flash, Alan West, tells Barry, brings him to the house, and basically says, Cisco and I have discovered some new information and new evidence, and basically tells him that his blood was on the scene, which basically tells Barry that...
There's a ton of dog cuteness going on right now
that
so you
distracting.
Cannot see. There was feet licking, the Penny dragging herself about
on her
4
belly,
feet on her belly
army
across
crawl.
the carpet, and lots of cuteness. So apologies.
Oh, he wants Bill really
right.
bad. My arm, it's dematerializing. Maybe even my face now at this point too. All right, come here, Bunce. Here's your bill. Here's your bill. No fighting over Bill. No fighting over Bill. Okay, so Barry learns that he was there as an adult, that the second speedster in the room was, in fact, him. And so they learn this, and how is this even possible that I time traveled? And Wells, Dr. Wells is giving them information. on it, which is interesting because obviously he's being coy and holding back something because he himself seems to be a time traveler of sorts, right? Or something to do with seeing things in the future. And so, but he sends him to Professor Stein. All right, now we'll get back onto the track of Firestorm. So Barry arrives at Professor Stein's house, and the dude's craving pizza.
Yep.
And he makes.
I am too right now.
Are you?
Now that you said the word
I
pizza.
know, I'm kind of hungry.
Later.
Okay. So he craves pizza. He asks Barry to go get pizza. So Barry does. Uses his
best
super speed.
Delivery service ever.
No kidding. That's got to be the hottest pizza.
Flash's Pizza.
Right? He could handle that.
15 seconds or it's free.
But the weird thing is he does it so openly, like right out, like in front of Professor Stein and his wife. So Stein knows exactly who Barry is, that Barry's the Flash. Mm-hmm. So he brings him into his house, and he asks him if he knows his theories about time travel. And, Stein says, well, I've written down some thoughts on the subject. And one thing that was really cool, when they were talking about it earlier, when Wells was talking about it before he goes to see Professor Stein, they actually talk about some of the stuff we did on that chart. That we put that chart there. Somebody else did the chart.
Right.
But it was basically like, well, there's this theory that when you go back and you try and alter the events or deal with the events of that historic event, that you actually become the cause of it happening, and you actually change nothing because you in fact were the cause of it happening. And Cisco's like Terminator. And then or that you go back and you create an alternate future, an alternate timeline, like Back to the Future.
So writers, we know where you got your source from.
Yeah, you watch Spyt-Takes, or maybe you saw the thing that we put up on Spyt-Takes,
which
that
is probably
more true. Or you've been in part of the many debates since Terminator and Back to the Future came out. So, yeah, it's not us. Can't be us. So, but Barry is not... he seems discouraged or almost crushed by the fact that he, time travel is possible, because he basically means, he says, it's my destiny to fail. If I'm there that night, it's my destiny to not save my mom. My destiny is to fail. That's pretty deep.
Yeah. Kind of what I said on the last episode of Spyt-Takes.
Yeah.
For Flash, I kind of felt the same way. Maybe he's supposed to fail. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I thought the same thing, and it is a really deep thing. And more dog commotion.
This is not cuteness, though. No. Come here.
And I think, and Barry is just kind of really bothered by the fact that he's there, or was there.
Right.
It really bothers him.
Yeah, because he failed. He didn't save his mom.
Right. So he's like, is that my destiny? Well, am I all of us going to fail?
That depends on if you believe in Terminator or Back to the Future style.
Exactly. Yeah, choose your path.
So he becomes determined later in the episode. He becomes determined to alter history, to be prepared. Now that he knows he's going to be there, that he's going to figure out a way to save his mom. Mm-hmm. So we'll see if that happens or not. Cool Flash moments that we saw on the show. I have a few that I think are awesome. The Flash taking out the guards when he goes to save Ronnie from being abducted by Eiling in the military. Badass. When he rescues Stein, who gets taken later in the episode. Mm-hmm. Very cool. And dealing with the chemical weapons he gets shot with. That was also very cool.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, it was very neat. So we'll talk about those as they come up, specifically.
That's by far my favorite.
Your favorite?
Yeah.
Okay, that's good to know. We'll talk about that when it comes up. Meanwhile, Eiling, right when the blast starts in the beginning, Eiling, it's General Eiling. He becomes this meta-human creature called the General, by the way, later. So he's going to become one of the things that he fears so much right now. But he is on the hunt. He wants a war with the metahumans, and when Firestorm splits, he sends his team out there, and he's very interested in the Firestorm Matrix. In fact, he summons Wells to him, and Wells and him have a conversation.
Right.
And it's really kind of creepy because you know who also knows who Barry Allen is? That he's the Flash? Not just Stein and his wife. You know who else knows? The General.
Yeah, the General.
Because he basically says when Barry took Plastique and failed to save Plastique and removed his mask, General Eiling figured out who he was. So that's not good.
No, it's dangerous for Flash.
Right.
For sure.
And so he tells Wells that he wants the information on the Firestorm Matrix. But unfortunately, he knows nothing about it. He's going to have to get Stein.
Right.
So, Eiling, excuse me. So Eiling and his men go and they try and abduct Ronnie Raymond at Jitters. This is where we first learn that Stein and him are connected, right? Because it's like, Ronnie, he's in trouble. I'm suddenly terrified, and my heart is racing. Well, tear gas is coming in, and they're being shot at. So this is where Flash goes off to Jitters and just, whoa, is it cool when he takes out those guards.
Yeah.
I mean, amazingly cool. He's like, doosh, 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 taking them out one by one. But for some reason, he doesn't take out the general. Blunder.
The one person he really needs to fear.
Right. And why is that? Well, because General Eiling has actually been developing countermeasures for these metahumans. In fact, he throws up this grenade-like thing into the air and explodes. And these shards come out that are attracted to kinetic motion or kinetic energy, which the Flash is just kind of at that state. So they all stab the Flash. It looks like a porcupine. Looks horribly painful.
Yeah.
But Caitlin Snow to the rescue. She comes in a van and sweeps them away. But
and then takes out each.
Oh, yeah, right?
It's basically...
And they're like, you got to do this faster. He's healing around them.
I think the equivalent would be like if you got, into a tangle with a porcupine or you fell on a cactus.
Green means go. Fuck! Pull my legs over! Fucking pull my legs over! Zach, help me now! Help me now! Ah! Fuck! Oh! Fuck! 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 Hold up, what's close, Oh, I'm going to sleep. I'm going to fucking sleep.
And then you had to slowly get these needles out.
Falling in a cactus.
You just feel for Barry. Even when you're a quick healer, ouch.
Yeah,
Painful.
totally ouch. Totally ouch. And if they started healing around it, and they pluck it out and it doesn't heal, you think they'd have to, cut all that up so it would heal
Gross.
again. You know, like when you break a bone and it sets wrong, they got to re-break the bone. Blah! Awful. Eiling totally has an agenda, and Wells wants to keep his own agenda, so he actually drugs Professor Stein.
Yep.
At Star Labs.
And again, I'm thinking, when this happens, I'm like, oh, he's bad, he's bad. But there's that part of me that says, he's just playing a part.
He is playing a part. It always seems like Wells, no matter what's going on, it feels like Wells has some other grand plan or angle. He might not be like...
means to the end, even if those means are pretty mean. And also, he's definitely, the way his mind thinks, he's definitely, a seasoned chess player. Right?
Yeah.
And he plays chess, too.
And it is like chess,
and it
right?
is for him.
Because it's like he doesn't know what you're going to do next.
Well,
he might be able to say, you have to do this. I know you're going to do this, right?
And chess is also about sacrifice.
And he'll plan for it. But there's other times when you do an unexpected move and he alters his game to still have an angle, thinking 3 moves ahead. It's very, you can see it when he's doing this stuff.
So he's a master at that. Everyone else is playing checkers and he's playing chess.
Right.
So it's pretty cool.
So he drugs Stein and the military comes, and of course he plays it off like, I couldn't stop him. I'm a man in a wheelchair, Okay. They bought
It's
it.
the excuse for everything for this guy.
And so they're like, well, maybe we can use Ronnie as like a tracking device to find Professor Stein. And so, of course, they put Professor Stein in a really cold room, and they start cattle prodding him and shocking him and basically scaring him and all this kind of stuff. And of course, Ronnie dials in on Professor, and he starts carving something in his arm. And then on the Professor's arm, we see where are you, right? And so the Professor starts using Morse code. I'm at 27, 27. Tap. And so they communicate back and forth in that way. Ronnie decides he's going to go with Flash to save him. And he is going to bring the quantum splicer in case he needs to merge again. And there's a lot of fear that once they merge again, they might not be able to like split apart.
Right.
So there's some fatalistic kind of, you know, decisions going on here. And Ronnie's like, I'll always be that guy that runs into the particle accelerator to save you kind of thing. So he's a hero, right? He's a hero.
And he has that connection with Professor Stein. So I think that even motivates him more.
Because he wants to save him. Right.
Yes.
Because he feels it.
Right.
Feels the terror.
And they become a part of each other.
Sure. I
Even
totally buy that.
Even when separated, they're still a part of each other.
So Flash and Ronnie move off, and I love the line when they appear at Military Base 27, you know, and Barry is like, oh yeah, this isn't fishy at all. You know, there's like this like active clandestine military base out here. It's very funny. And so he does the next cool thing I talked about, which was just saving. He runs into the base, and just as Eiling's about to kill Stein, runs into the base and pulls Stein out of there in the blink of an eye.
Yep.
And that was really cool. And the military comes out, and they shoot this missile at him. This is your favorite part. And he does the whole catch it thing. What happens there? Why did you like that so much?
It reminds me of a few episodes back when Barry is training.
Yeah.
And they have him literally, you know.
They use that.
They shoot. I don't know if it's
it's a missile.
It's a missile.
Right.
And he's got to outrun it and outsmart it, outchase it. And that reminded me of that. Like,
well, he actually catches it in the other one and directs it back toward its target.
Right.
But that doesn't work this time.
No. It sort of backfires on him, and he is covered in some kind of chemical.
Yeah, a chemical agent.
Yeah, it bursts. And at first I thought, is he being frozen? Then I figured out, he said, oh, it's some kind of chemical stuff. And what is it doing to him exactly?
It's burning his suit and burning through his suit. So Wells says, you need to run, Barry. You need to run. Create a vacuum. It can't burn in a vacuum. So he just starts running in a circle.
Which is cool.
Yeah, it was really cool. Creating a vacuum right there. So meanwhile...
It reminds me of like old Superman movie where he's got to...
Turn the earth back to save Lois from the dirt.
So to me, that's a total like iconic moment,
right?
Right when he does that. So
yeah.
I really like that a lot.
And that leaves Ronnie and Stein to fend for themselves, and they decide they're going to join or they're going to die. Right. So he puts on the splicer. You see the Firestorm costume again. And this time, Wells tell them, don't fight it. Last time you fought it. Accept it. Accept the merge. Accept the change. You know, accept, you know, Firestorm, basically. And so they merge, and they do, and bam! That's the real Firestorm. Stein is a voice in his head. Ronnie's the body and the voice, and is in control. That's how it's supposed to work. And they both seem happy and at ease with it. And they kicked the ass out of the military, man. It was so awesome. Great stuff.
And again, the effects were amazing.
Really good.
I really like Firestorm.
But Eiling's prepared. He has another grenade. This one he throws up into the air, and it's for Firestorm. It's an ion grenade that destabilizes his matrix, and so he has no power. So Barry comes back. His suit's all burnt up, and he's got like horrible chemical burns all over him and everything like that.
It's like Mr. Crispy.
And Mr. Crispy, and he just goes, "Whew, that was a lot of running." So great stuff in that episode with Barry's powers. And then, you know, they defeat Eiling, and then Flash runs off, and Firestorm, you know, flies off, and it's this great exit with them both using their powers, which is super cool. So at the end of it, you know, they're sort of in their base, in Star Labs, and they're talking about what they're going to do. Stein and Ronnie go to Stein's house, and they decide they're going to go to Pittsburgh, which is cool because that's the city that Firestorm operates out of in the comics. Mm-hmm. So they're going to go to Pittsburgh and try and figure out what's going on with them. There's some scientists or facility there that will help them. And so I hope he's not off the show forever. I'm sure he'll come back from time to time. But I'm going to miss that character and that storyline. Like, honestly, I love The Flash, and I love everything they're doing with the villains, but I really liked Firestorm on this show.
Me too.
I don't know how I'm going to feel about a spin-off if they do it. I don't know if he can carry the show, but I liked him as a part of this show. And I'm really going to miss him if he's gone.
Because I think for now they've kind of closed that storyline.
They definitely did.
So they'll move on to something else, which will possibly be another villain, maybe.
Oh, we know Grodd's coming soon.
Yeah.
In fact, he appears on this episode again.
I was like, yes, because I love Gorilla Grodd. One of my favorite
cool.
characters.
That was a revelation kind of moment, too, where Eiling gets taken out of his base, and it's actually Reverse Flash that takes him. And he's doing the whole vibration thing, and Eiling's like, who are you? And he's like, who am I? With the, who am I? And he takes off his mask and reveals himself as Harrison Wells. And he's like, you're one of them? And then the coolest freaking thing happens. So he goes, I'm going to introduce you to someone we both know from our past. So apparently Eiling was involved in the Grodd experiments, whatever experiments those were. And he's basically like, that voice, and he hears General. And he's like, that voice, it's in my head. Dear God. He goes, not God. Grodd. And then all of a sudden you see Gorilla Grodd come out, and he takes the General and drags him back into the sewer. Which
I don't know about you, but I was like, yes!
Yeah, that was badass. And Wells was just like, oh my God. So Wells is teaming up with Grodd right now. Like, he knows where Grodd is. He's with Grodd. We know Grodd came from Star Labs, so there's definitely a relationship between Grodd and Wells. We don't know what that is yet, but wow, was that cool.
And Wells totally set the General up, too.
Yeah,
so,
what an
again,
awesome...
playing chess and having all the pieces fall together.
Yeah, he had that smile after the General left with Stein, all cocky and triumphant, like, oh, you're going to get yours. And we know what that smile was about. He knew this moment was coming. So last thing I wanted to talk about was some very cool... One reason I love The Flash is how much fun they have with acknowledging in very quippy ways that they're a TV show. And they kind of work that into the dialogue from time to time. So tonight when they were talking about, or this episode, when they were talking about, kind of dealing with the impossible, and Barry says, impossible is just a normal Tuesday for us, or just a regular Tuesday for us. Well, the show airs every Tuesday, and they do something impossible. Very clever. And then in that very same conversation, Cisco and them are telling Ronnie about this dude who could turn himself into a poison gas. And he was like, really? And Cisco's like, yeah, that was like week 3. Well, they meant like week 3 chronologically of the Flash Adventures, but it literally was episode 3 that they dealt with that. So very clever stuff. They work in these kind of references of the serial nature and the series itself into the dialogue, which makes me giggle.
They keep it all light on the show, which I like.
Yeah.
You can't take yourself too seriously.
No, it's super fun.
I'm going to miss Firestorm.
I'm going to miss him so much. I really like Firestorm. I really hope he'll be back. Thanks for watching this episode of Spyt-Takes. We appreciate you spending your time with us here. If you are new to the YouTube channel, please subscribe. If you are or you aren't, either way, please give us a like if you enjoyed the video. And we'd love to see your comments. I certainly do try to respond to as many as I possibly can. So do leave them. You'd be surprised. We might reach out and say hi and thank you for your comment. If you want to comment on any of the shows that we cover and voice what you have to say about the next episode before we air the next Spyt-Takes on it, please use hashtag Spyt-Takes on Twitter and give us your comments and your thoughts. Or if you just want to talk about the show, Spyt-Takes in general, hashtag Spyt-Takes. You can see it right here on the screen. Take some time. Let us know how you feel. And until next time we air another show, have fun out there and enjoy whatever nerdy stuff that you're watching. Take care.
Bye. Thanks for watching.